had a couple of really good years. And then at one point, the investors just pulled out from underneath us.
And before we dive into the details of alternative financing for corporate credit, could you share a bit more about your journey? What inspired you to become a trusted advisor for small businesses and funding and capital strategies?
Sure, sure. Thanks for that introduction. It makes me feel important. I didn't know I was so cool. Well, as we were chatting beforehand, I started in the television industry, right out of college and learned a lot back in those days. We were essentially building an industry. That's kind of how old I am. But you learned a lot about how corporate structure works, how deal making works, and how all that goes. Well, that was a great experience, but it was all out in Los Angeles. And I'm from Atlanta, and I went out there with a plan. The plan was to go for 10 years and move back and have the experience. And I had in my brain I was going to go work for Turner Broadcasting, based here, CNN, and all that stuff. Well, it was working flawlessly. 2000 came around and was hired, recruited to move back to Atlanta with another cable company. And that ended up, it was back when everyone was getting rich, on the internet without business plans and things like that. So I had a couple of really good years. And then at one point, the investors just pulled out from underneath us. We had to let the whole company go, get all our equipment out of the field. And after all that, the cable industry, I actually had another job at TNT, and they decided to not hire because there was a big consolidation going on, and there used to be, 25 top cable operators. Now there's a couple, and so all the deals got done corporately, and they just subsequently got rid of people that did what I did.